Kshetre Kurukshetre. When you hear this word, you imagine a massive battlefield where there's a war going on between the Pandavas and the Kauravas for the re-establishment of Dharma. But the main question you should be asking is, why is Kurukshetra only chosen for the re-establishment of Dharma, and why is it so significant that such a massive war happened here only? Why nowhere else? If you look at the story of Kurukshetra, it is really amazing. Because the story of Kurukshetra doesn't come to us from the Mahabharata, but from the Vayu Purana, where it is said that this Kshetra was ruled by the ancestor of the Pandavas and Kauravas, Maharaja Kuru. And one day, when he was attending court, his old minister requests for a retirement and asks the Maharaja so that he wanted to leave his kingdom and take up a residence in Kashi so that he could spend the rest of his life in spiritual activities and serving the divine. The Maharaja agrees, but the question that comes in his mind, why does every individual go to Kashi only to attain liberation and salvation? Is there no other kshetra in this entire world that is equally pious to Kashi? This question troubles him for days and he finds no solution to this. But there is a sankalpa that he takes, that I will make my kshetra equally pious to Kashi, and then starts a long tapasya to please Lord Sadashiva and Yamadharmaraya to take on this sankalpa of his. For years the tapasya goes on, and finally Lord Sadashiva and Yamadharmaraya appear and they're pleased with his tapasya. They ask, what do you desire, Maharaja Guru? The king asks both of them for their vahanas, which is from Lord Shiva his bull and from Yamadharmaraya his buffalo, for a few days so that he could finish his sankalpa. Both the devatas agree, bless him, and leave. Then Maharaja Kuru starts his work where he builds a golden plough, attaches it to both the divine bull and buffalo, and starts ploughing the land, taking the divine's name. After a few days of ploughing, Lord Sadashiva appears and asks him, Maharaja Kuru, what are you going to grow in this land? The king replies, Mahadeva, I seek to make my kingdom equally pious to Kashi. Lord Shiva smiles and tells Tathastu and leaves. Maharaja Kuru continues his work. After a few days, Sriman Narayana comes and asks the same question, with Maharaja Kuru replying, Narayana, I want to make my kingdom equally pious to Kashi. Narayana also smiles and tells Tathastu and leaves. Again the work continues, and finally Lord Indradeva comes and asks the same question. And this time, when Maharaja Kuru replies with the same answer, that I want to make this place equally pious to Kashi, Devraj decides, I will also contribute, and he tells the king that, O Maharaja, I will become a basket full of seeds and you sprinkle across your entire field. The king does so, and after 1 year, a beautiful crop harvest happens, and finally, Indradeva comes and tells, I am pleased with your sincerity, dedication, and devotion. I bless this kshetra that whosoever dies in this kshetra performing his duty will attain Swarga, irrespective of how much kukarma he has performed. The king is happy with this. But what is even more interesting is that years after this, there is an other spiritual activity that takes place, that in the same kshetra of Kurukshetra, Mahabali Parashurama Mahamuni, after he finishes destroying 21 Kshatriya generations, he comes and performs a Mahayagya over in this kshetra to free himself from all the papa that he has performed during killing these Kshatriyas. This Mahayagya was assisted by the help of Maharishi Vasishtha, Maharishi Gautama, and Vishwamitra. For years, this yagya goes on, and finally, the punya of that homa comes to this entire land, with Parashurama Muni going and donating all the land to the needy people. And that is how Kurukshetra becomes Dharma Kshetra, because this Kshetra was filled with so much of energy of so many great people. If you observe why we have specific kshetras which hold specific deities, is because there is an energy within it that can hold the power of the devata, and that punya can be distributed across. And for a battle like Kurukshetra, which was speaking of Dharma samstapana, You required so much of punya as well as so much of tapo shakti to handle the weight of so many adharmis being killed. And that is why we call Kurukshetra as Dharma Kshetra. Today, that land is a witness to the great war, the Tapo Shakti of Maharaja Kuru, the Sankalpa Shakti of Parashurama Muni that we still see today and is told to us. If you do like it, please do share it with everyone and ensure that this story is told to people. Krishna Arpanamastu.